If you've got a winning Facebook and Instagram ad, the worst thing you can do is create a bunch of different ad creative that's different from it, right? To test and see if you can best it. I'll tell you what to do in this episode, but a client recently came to me with a question and this client had a very good, honestly a very good performing ad that like I'm running for the client, and he was like, "What other videos should I create?" And my answer was like, "Let's not reinvent the wheel. Here's some advice. You're just going to iterate on what's already working." And so in this episode, I'm going to give you some of the same advice that I gave him. It's my step-by-step approach to maximizing an ad that's already working by testing different hooks without rebuilding the entire ad from scratch. And so what you want to do is think about what part of your video ad is really working. And then can you see or dive into that and look and kind of figure out why it's working? And then just create different little pieces of that portion and still keep the whole video largely the same. And by the way, if you have like a graphic text on an image and it's really working, the same technique applies. What is really working about that ad? Keep the ad largely the same, but change different parts about it. Change different colors in it, for example, or maybe just change the wording in it, or maybe change the types of images, but keep all the colors and the wording the same. So here's what most people do wrong. One ad works, so we go way over and we try different other ads to work along with it. Okay. And the smarter approach is just to test different portions of the ad. In this client's case, we just tested or different hooks. So let me go and look at an email that I sent to this client so I can tell you exactly the part of the hook that we ended up changing. So like in looking at this client's ad, I noticed that this one spoke to two pain points for their niche. No time, as in not having enough time, as in their clients or potential leads and potential clients are putting in work in their niche, right? But super busy and not having enough time to enjoy the fruits of their labor. Plus, this successful ad touched on that like they're putting in the work and the business was growing, but they weren't seeing any extra money, like any extra cash in their business. So it felt like they were spinning their wheels. And so in this case, what I did was say, okay, I said, why don't we pull out the no time pain point and pull out the no money pain point? And then why don't we speak to that in different ways? Like speak to the no time, with a hook in different ways, and speak to the no money pain point in different ways. And so I'll give you a couple suggestions. I'm literally reading from the email right now. That's why I'm kind of looking down at my monitor. So for the no time, and basically, just so you know, what I did is I used ChatGPT to give me potential hooks or talking points. I'm not a fan of using ChatGPT to write copy, but it does give you ideas, right? And so as I was doing this for this client and kind of mapping out some ideas for them, here's what I came up with. And the key here is that since the video was working well, we didn't want to change the video. So as we're like thinking about these new hooks, we needed the hooks to tie into the current video so that we could just effectively keep the same 3/4 of the video and just swap out the hook, right? So here's one. Feeling like there's never enough time, no matter how hard you work at your business. Let's look at what's really going on. All right, another one for time. Ever wonder why the longer you work at your business, the less time you seem to have? I'll show you why. And then that naturally goes into the video. All right, so for no money, working harder than ever on your business, but not seeing the money, here's the real reason. And then we jump into the video. Another hook. Feel like your hard work isn't paying off? Let's uncover the missing piece. And then we continue into the rest of the video. Now, when my Facebook and Instagram ads coaching clients ask me, or if I'm being interviewed on another podcast and they ask me, okay, QUAY.jo, like, is it video? Is it graphics? I will always say, test first with graphics because video has a lot more variables in it, a lot more moving pieces. You got to have a strong hook. You got to make sure that you can speak coherently for the length of the video. You got to make sure that either the way you're delivering your message or the visuals keep viewer retention. Otherwise, nobody will make it to the end of your video. By the way, where are you going to put that call to action at the beginning, the middle, the end? I like to put mine as a text overlay throughout the whole video, by the way, and I like to have captions on my video too. And so with all these video elements, having a simple graphic that's consumable in like 2 seconds, right, delivers the value of whatever you're talking about, the lead magnet, or maybe you're running ads to your low ticket offer. So when you make these hooks, you really want to focus on the first 3 to 5 seconds because that decides whether somebody will keep watching. And of course, a strong hook can really lower your cost per lead because it increases engagement, and then people are kind of driven, compelled to go get your lead magnet or to go take a look at your sales page for your low ticket offer. And so, yeah, to sum up this section of the podcast, before I tell you how to go test your different videos that you're making right now, look at whatever is successful, right? Your best video, your runaway video, and really ask what pain point is it addressing? And then ask yourself what frustrations come from that pain point and what is that main problem that the pain point solves, okay? What's keeping your audience stuck? And then you're going to think about, brainstorm, use your favorite AI if you need to, what kind of hooks could address those frustrations. Okay. And so then you'll create different hooks for each frustration and you'll focus the whole time on how can I keep most of this video the same, but change up the hooks. And then you can systematically, inside of your Meta Ad Manager, test the videos against each other, knowing that the ad copy is the same, the headlines are the same, and the video largely is the same. It's just the beginning hook is different. And then that will show you which hook, which messaging is resonating the best with your potential leads and clients. And you can also take this research once you do it, and that can benefit your sales pages. If you're having conversations, that can benefit the conversations, like the discovery calls you're having, everything. And so I'm going to take this testing framework so you can test your ads straight out of my ad testing cheat code. And what that is, it's my Olympic gold medal framework for lowering your lead cost while still having the highest quality lead. Okay. And this is the thing I do in every client account. And I've had students go through this mini course and chop their lead cost by up to 60%. Plenty get like 30, 40% lead cost reduction. The link to the full course is in the description below, by the way. And so this ad testing, this Olympic gold testing framework, if you think of track and field, right? At the time I'm recording this video, last year it was the Olympics in Paris, and I'm thinking of the men's 100-meter sprint. Okay. And so to get the fastest people in the world, first, second, third place, there was a bunch of heats, qualifying heats, if you will, and then people raced and they got into the semifinals, and the fastest runners move on until you have the finals. And that's how you want to think about testing your video this time. Now, my Olympic gold framework, it has 4 phases where you just systematically test ad copy against the other versions to figure out which one's the best. And then you test your visuals, right? And then you can go ahead and test headlines and audiences. But I'm going to focus on the visuals because you already have a great ad. So keep everything the same, ad copy, headlines, right? But then test 3, if you're running like $30 a day, I like to spend $10 a day per ad in an ad set. So if you just take 3 of your different videos and now you know that the videos are largely the same except for the hook, then drop 3 of those in with your already best performing headlines and ad copy and let those run for a handful of days. And you'll see which is the winner. All right. And so you keep the winner on and then you turn off 2 losers. So now out of 6 videos, you've already tested 3, right? And so you're going to bring in 2 more. Okay. So now you've already tested 5. Keep the winner running, bring in the 2 new contestants, let those run for another handful of days. And what's going to happen? You're going to see that the 2 new contestants bested the previous winner, or maybe they didn't. Either way, you can keep like 2 winners running. All right. And you can test the 3rd one. And if your budget's a little smaller than $30 a day, fine. Test 2 videos against each other, turn off the loser, keep the winner going, bring in a new contestant. But at the end of this process, what you can do is you'll want to have 2 or 3 of these winning videos running. And that's how it works. 2 or 3 will work better than the other 3 or 4 if only 2 are working, and that's fine. And just because you've done that work, now you get to experience lower lead costs. I like this system because it takes out all the guesswork and it means that you can win. And smart course creators are testing like this because when you get better lead costs, then you're able to serve more people with the gifts and passions that you are put here on this earth with. And so it's worth the work. If you want that ad testing cheat code, it's normally $37. You can get it for $17 now. That is in the link in the description below. And then also, what I love about this is it's not just me teaching you my framework, which I do in the first portion, but in the second portion, I've actually taken the time to record, kind of document myself, putting that framework into practice in client accounts so that you can actually see me dodging curveballs that Meta Ads throws at me, right? Because it's never just, oh, do this and do that and do that and do that and do that, and you get the result. It's do this and do this and then go back and try this again. And oops, okay, we got to shut this whole ad set down and relaunch. And that's the thing. I'm just a bit further down the ads management road than you are. I have a few more arrows in my quiver, if you will, arrows being different ads strategies than you if you're just now starting. And I recorded some of those in that course too.